Whatever life holds in store for me, I will never forget these words. With great power comes great responsibility. This is my gift, my curse. Who am I? I'm Spider-Man. Welcome back everybody, Matt and the Bat here, hope you're doing well. So we got a new Spider-Man movie out, Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse. This is the sequel to the 2018 animated film Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I really enjoyed that first movie, and one of my favorites of 2018. A major surprise for me. I really enjoyed the animation style, dealing with Miles Morales, and overall it was a heartwarming story. Now I wouldn't consider it the best Spider-Man movie. Some people do. I did a ranking of Spider-Man movies early last year. I'll put that at the end of this video if you want to check that out. But now we got Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. And once again, we're dealing with Miles Morales, Spider-Gwen, and let's get into it. Let's get into the positives. The animation. I actually love the animation more in this movie than in the original. The first 20 minutes of this movie are in Gwen Stacy's universe, aka Spider-Gwen, and I love the animation. When I say I could watch an entire movie on Spider-Gwen's, the universe that she lives in, because it's almost like an oil painting. The animation is like an oil painting look to it. It is beautiful. When I say beautiful, I mean it. I was really like, I wish we could spend an entire movie in this universe. Because the animation in that universe is truly astounding. I'm like, really, I can live, this movie's 2 hours and 20 minutes. And the first 20 minutes are in the Gwen Stacy universe, and I can spend another 2 hours in that universe. Then we go, there's a sequence that is in Mumbai, where Slumdog Millionaire took place, and that animation is different than Miles Morales' universe and the Gwen Stacy universe, and it's also really good. But I love how this movie, jumping from different universes, it has its own unique look, its own unique animation. Like they do with oil painting for Gwen. Then you got the look that we got in the original Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse with Miles Morales. Something we've never seen before in any animation movie. Then you go to like I said, Mumbai Slumdog Millionaire universe. And that look is more like 2D, but it's stylized. It looks really good. Then we go into another universe that also has a different look to it. And I really like, then like by the end of the movie we're in another universe, and it almost has like a Blade Runner feel. Like the look of Blade Runner. And I'm like, this movie will win Best Animation at the Oscars at the end of this year, early next year, because of the animation. It's great. Well, this movie is focused on character. There is action, there's plenty of action, but it is a focus on character. The first 20 minutes, when we get Gwen Stacy's story, like her backstory, I could have spent an entire movie just in that character. In the character. Dealing with her and her father, Captain Stacy. I'm like, this is brilliant writing. This is great storytelling. That to the point, I'm actually watching this movie, and I even had to go, okay, is this a Miles Morales story? Or is this a Gwen Stacy story? Because, let me tell you, I think someone could argue this movie is more about Gwen Stacy, Spider-Gwen, than it is Miles. There is a good, Miles is the focus. you're almost in 25 minutes of this movie till we finally see Miles Morales. So I really, and then I think you get to Miles Morales. You get the classic trying to be Spider-Man, saving the city, while also having to, not going to class, not being able to be in class for school. His grades are slipping. His father is going to be promoted to captain of the police force, and they have a big party for him. And guess what? Miles isn't there. He's off doing his Spider-Man thing. So he's not being there for the family. He's not there for the family. He's not in school. He's, trying to save the city. Very typical Spider-Man. That's what made Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire such an excellent movie in terms of a character of how to juggle being Spider-Man and trying to be there for Aunt May, trying to be there for Mary Jane and Harry Osborn, trying to hold down a job at the pizza place, or being the intern at the Daily Bugle, or just trying to go to school. And, Dr. Connor is not giving him a hard time. Where were you, Peter? I'm heading to your class. My class was an hour ago. You're late. You know that famous line from Spider-Man 2? So I love how he still dealt with the responsibilities and the problems with being Spider-Man. I really enjoyed that. I love the dynamic in this one. The first one was mainly more about the father and son, Miles' dad and him. This one focuses more on the mother-son relationship, and I wish we had more of that. Now, the father does have some scenes that are really good, and I really enjoyed, but the scenes with the mom, I thought were excellent, that I wish we had more of, and I hope in the second part of this movie, we do get more of them. Because those scenes to me were like a treasure to watch. Just like the Gwen Stacy and Captain Stacy, the father-daughter relationship was was showing that relationship with her being Spider-Gwen and how that takes a toll on Captain Stacy. Now this one where Miles Morales is off doing Spidey things, how it's kind of dealing with his mother, and being more of that parental figure, if you will. So I love the juxtaposition of father-daughter, mother-son relationship in this movie. Very interesting, both different scenarios, but still a Spider-Man or a Spider-Woman, Spider-Gwen, and a Spider-Man. The movie has a lot of humor throughout the movie. I laughed a bunch in the movie. I think there's some adult humor that's going to go over some kids, but that's good because, Miles is going to go off to college soon, so you need some of that more adult humor. Actually, also, for this movie being 2 hours and 20 minutes, I think this is one of the longest Spider-Man movies now, in both animation and live action. Compared to the original, that was like an hour and 45, this movie is almost 40 minutes longer, and it flies by. Even when we got down to the end and they had the cliffhanger, I was like, I could have gone for another hour, 2 hours. I was so invested in this movie that I know they split this movie up into 2 parts, and it will be a trilogy when it's all said and done. But I'm like, you could have just gone another hour and a half, and I would have been fine. That's why I'll be curious to see how long part 3 is. Because if part 3 is less than 2 hours, I would be like, man, you should have just made it one giant movie. One almost 4-hour movie. I would have done it. You can argue that there are kind of 2 villains in this movie. One of them is called the Spot, and he really does have a integral part to Miles Morales. Just like with every Spider-Man villain, there's some connection there. A lot of times it's almost like a semi-father figure, if you will. This one's a little bit different, and I liked it. It wasn't like, another scientist being kind of like that father figure to Spider-Man, because Uncle Ben isn't here. No. This one has a different reasoning behind him and reason for going after Spider-Man and trying to take him down, and I really liked it. And then, like I said, we do have another villain, if you want to count Oscar Isaac's Spider-Man 2099. I just don't think we didn't get enough of him. We understand what he's doing, why he wants to stop Miles Morales, and it's a very interesting idea. When we get into like this middle part of the movie, I'm not gonna lie to you, there were moments that it kind of reminded me of The Matrix Reloaded, when Neo is talking to the architect. We have a little bit of that in this movie between Miles and Spider-Man 2099, voiced by Oscar Isaac. I'm getting a little bit of a Matrix Reloaded vibe here, which I don't mind. When it does go above, it will probably go above kids' heads to understand what's really going on here. I like that. This movie has a ton of Easter eggs. I cannot believe some of the 8 Easter eggs in this movie. I will not spoil them. But let's just say, this is a multiverse in the Spider-Man universe. I was pleasantly surprised by a few things. I was like, oh, they went there. What does that mean in the future? Could that be a reference to Tom Holland's Spider-Man? Ooh, because we do see a real person, live-action character that we've seen from a previous live-action Spider-Man movie show up in this movie. I won't say who it is, but I was like, oh. And then there's another Easter egg that like, oh, so he's in all the universes. Okay, I like it. I like it a lot. So there are a bunch of Easter eggs in this movie. Some of my negatives with this movie. This movie doesn't end on a cliffhanger. There's a lot of people that I know when the movie ended like, what? The movie's over? They just ended it right there? What? So yes, going into this movie, telling you right now, it ends on a cliffhanger. Kind of like the recent Fast and Furious movie, or if you were around in the early 2000s, where we got Lord of the Rings and The Matrix Reloaded, the Lord of the Rings movies and The Matrix Reloaded, that ended on a cliffhanger. Guess what, people? This Spider-Man movie, or Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chef, guess what? This movie ends on a cliffhanger. So be prepared. Even at 2 hours and 20 minutes, it is not the full story. Okay? I can't put that as a negative because, like I said, I wish this movie kept going because I was so invested. I wanted more. Or with the parents, like I said, I really liked the mother-son dynamic in this movie. But I wanted more after really the first act in this movie. We don't see him again until the end of the third act, right before the movie ends. And I wanted more of the parents. I really enjoyed them this time. Talking politics in my movie news, movie reviews. I don't do political stuff. I really am not a political guy, so I'm just going to say that right now. But there were 2 moments in this movie that, when they came up, I said to myself, you guys were animating and making this movie during 2020 or early 2021. Because there are references in this movie during that time frame. The political side of it was like, listen, I'm not a political guy. So just throwing those in there for political reasons, it didn't work for me. But luckily those were the only 2. But overall, I would give this a solid 4.7 out of 5. I'll be curious to see how this trilogy concludes with the 3rd film. That will be out in March of next year, so we don't have to wait a whole year. But overall, like I said, 4.7 out of 5. I thought it was a great animated film, great character development, great expanding the universe of this Spider-Man film, this universe. Are you a fan of Spider-Man? If you are, go see this movie. It is definitely a great sequel. I wouldn't consider it the best Spider-Man movie, but I would think it's definitely the best. If they can nail the 3rd one, this might end up going down as the best Spider-Man trilogy in all the Spider-Man movies. But Matt the Man here, with great power comes great responsibility.